Who can name any American president in recent history who worked very hard to provide employment for ordinary Americans? Who's that president who actually walked the talk and not just make empty promises during elections that Americans will get decent jobs? Was it Obama, Bush, or Clinton? Trump's predecessors have been given all the time and chances that they could possibly have to focus on ensuring that every American family will be able to have food on their table. But not all of the past presidents really put emphasis in providing sufficient jobs for the people. Now, it may sound like it's really not a big deal, maybe for some who are able to eat every single day and live a comfortable life. But I do really hope that now there are some realizations on the part of these privileged citizens who may have not experienced the worst in their lives, especially with everything that's been going on in the world today. The injustices that are happening around us. Sometimes it's not coincidence, but it's due to the realities that we are not even aware of, like joblessness or unemployment, hunger, deprivation of opportunities, and all other things that our government can control, that they can really do something about in fixing these problems, but have chosen to ignore it for a very long time. Let's talk about the riots and the chaos that seem to be endless, and the destructions that it caused to some other innocent people who just work hard to provide something for their families. Like some small businessmen who were somehow victimized by those who take this opportunity to do illegal things like trespassing some business establishments and loot. Why do these people go to the streets and do all the protests, both peacefully and violently? It's because of a man who was killed by cops, and it so happened that the guy was a black man, and that triggered anger and public outcry for justice. But the question here is this the first time that this happened? If you invoke racism in this issue, when did the struggle really start? Is it now the fault of the Trump administration? Of course not. These incidents happened a lot of times, even when Obama was still in the White House. You know why this is still happening? Because the problem was there ever since. But nobody even bothered to look into this and find a permanent solution to fix the very cause of these incidents. It's the fault of the past presidents who chose to ignore the reality that America was facing during their time in office. And the present administration of Trump have no choice now but to deal with this, when in fact it should have been dealt with a long time ago, just like in the issue of North Korea. But we will talk about North Korea and how President Trump managed to lessen the tensions in the region on my next video. This is also the fault of the Congress, past and present, for not passing decent bills that will protect the suspect regardless of the race, and also bills applicable to the arresting officers and how they will perform their duty properly and safely. If there are sufficient laws already in place, then these kinds of incidents will not surface today. In the first place, there's no need to arrest someone if they don't do anything against the law, whether it's stealing, cheating, or any other crimes, if the causes of these crimes have been addressed a long time ago by the past administrations, past Congress, and other in-charge people. What are some of the causes of crimes? What pushes people to go against the law? Desperation. Desperation, for example, when someone is jobless or unemployed and can no longer afford to buy food for the family. So if he or she does not have any more legal options, the tendency is they will resort to illegal means. And when they do resort to illegal means, the police will take the scene. So going back to naming a president in recent history that you know who take employment for Americans seriously, who would that be? I have not known any other president in recent history who's really serious in addressing the unemployment situation in America like Donald Trump. Almost 4 million jobs created since election. He's just been in office for 4 years, but he made an average of 1 million jobs in a year. More Americans are now employed than ever recorded before in our history. Have created more than 400,000 manufacturing jobs since his election, while other presidents just tolerated the jobs to go to other parts of the world. Manufacturing jobs growing at the fastest rate in more than 3 decades. Why is providing jobs to the ordinary Americans so important? The more Americans avail of a decent job, the more they are capable in supporting themselves and their family. Also, it creates a well-balanced opportunity for all, and that lessens other serious problems in the society, like crimes, inequality, injustice, and more. The more jobs there are in the American soil, the less Americans will have to go abroad and be away from their families to seek better opportunities anywhere else. The opposition to the Trump administration, especially the Democrats, can do all the mudslinging, name-calling, and low-life campaign against Trump and recall the past that they can remember to use against him. But that's just all that they can do. That's really their expertise. They can do no more but promise heaven like Obama did. And they will just use you if you guys believe them. They've already used and manipulated the media with their narratives. So my advice is, don't fall for it. America deserves Trump, and he can do more in another 4 years in office. I hope you realized something in this video, and thank you so much for watching.